Good morning, everybody. This is R.T.D coming at you with another live drawing. Today we're going to be doing just a little sketch, nothing too crazy. Today we're going to be focusing on another Saturn deer piece, another inkwell drawing. Got a little fighting with these caps and getting your fingers completely covered in ink. So as you can see, we're going to just start off with some nice little layout lines, get a nice feel going for this piece. Just going to be drawing some of the actual backgrounds for them, some of the nice little areas that we can hope to find one in. These Saturn deer are a very vicious predator in these parts. They've basically eaten most of the other fauna and other creatures that live out in these forests. Out in the back here, you're going to start to see the black sun emerging. And the black sun was a nice little concept that I came up with a long time ago. It was done for a lot of my old Instagram pieces. Now I thought a lot of those were very fun to do. Just the concept of a eldritch deity rising from the sun itself and causing all of the other demons of the forest to be awoken. This is just going to be a very simple piece. Now I noticed some of your guys' comments lately about doing some of the glass pen drawings, and I think that it's very encouraging to see everybody talking about, you know, how nice the pens are and how interesting the pieces end up turning out. So I'd like to kind of maintain some of that feel. Now, I could end up using all of this audio. I could end up completely dumping all of this. It's not exactly set in stone quite yet. Hell, I might even dump this piece, because I'm not even sure if I like it yet. This was just a very light conceptual piece, and I didn't do very much sketching, so I don't believe it's gonna turn out as uniform as my last one. But we'll see. See how I like this actual ridge line and how this very small deer turns out. I always seem to find that it's very satisfying to keep a piece going, even if you don't like it. You know, it's one of those things that I tell a lot of up-and-coming and aspiring artists, is that even if they don't like a piece, you know, now they should still finish it at the very least. Even if it doesn't turn out the way that they wanted it to, it can still inspire inspiration and show at least some interest and mastery of the skill. Because it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to learn something from it. I think that's what a lot of artists fail to realize, is that as long as you learn something from a piece, even if it's a bad art piece, well, bad as in not up to what you think your standards are, you can still always learn something from it. Like this piece, I'm going to be practicing a few different techniques to what I normally do. Now, you may not even be seeing the same drawing, because I might end up taking this audio and putting it over a different drawing. Now, what do you think of that? Wouldn't that be an interesting thought? I do all this work on this new piece, and then it never gets released. Nobody sees it, nobody even knows it exists. I suppose there is some comfort in that. Some comfort in the fact that you don't always have to release everything, you don't have to always show everything that you do. Though it is kind of nice. It is nice to have a audience to share your pieces with, and to especially get some feedback. I feel like this piece is going to turn out a lot more sketchy than my last piece. A lot more abstract and representational than what I'm normally used to, especially with what I've posted. It'll almost be a calling back to some of my older work when I was doing surrealism and more abstract pieces. Maybe some more of my actual sketchy sort of artistry. Had to reset the camera there. That does get me wanting to talk about what happened with these Canon cameras. I swear, I'm using one of the Canon Rebel T7s, and for some reason they decided to put a limit on how long you can record, and I've only seen this done with specifically Canon Rebel, the Canon Rebel series. It's almost like you have to spend more to actually get full use of your camera. It's unconceivable to me that you'd release a product in such a state. You know, I don't think 12 minutes of footage is even remotely enough for any artist or anybody who's really trying to, use these cameras. Because they look fantastic. The actual photos and photography that they take are astounding. They look great. It's what I used for my last video that I did with the spray paint looking wall. And for some reason, I can shoot those perfectly filmed little areas, but I can't manage to do any of my longer format recording. So I think I might just look into getting a different camera. I saw that the Panasonic ones actually seem to have a slightly better filming. They could film for longer, basically as long as you want, without having to shut off and without overheating. So I might look into that. At least getting one used. I don't want to have to constantly, go buy brand new stuff. I think the one thing I really enjoy about these, these glass pens is really just how dark you can get the lines and the line work. Like, you don't have to keep going over it over and over again, like some of the other pens that I've used, and they don't seem to fade as much. So I've had plenty of my older work where I've been doing it with ballpoint pens and all that, where it's just faded and doesn't look as good as it used to. If you go back and look at like some of the older stuff on my Instagram, you can really see some of those old pieces and how dark they were, and looking at them now, I still do have quite a few of them. They're just kind of washed out. I assume it has something to do with the ink. I don't think anybody would really need any of these documents, because they are essentially just writing utensils. They're not really artist grade, as I'd put it. Trying to put some more happy little trees. Well, I say happy, they're completely black. But I still think that black can be a very happy color. To me, it's a very clear and decisive color. That's why I like it. You're not meandering around the point, you are just directly saying what it is. It's like it's like doing things in silhouette. You're doing it very deliberately to showcase exactly the form of what it is you're trying to show. That is just me. There are plenty of artists who do their line work in black and then go back and recolor it. I always found that very interesting, because I do quite a bit of the digital work and never felt the need to go back and recolor lines, especially not after already put in color. I feel like the lines and the black adds so much definition to it. You see it quite a bit with character art. where the lines are redone to match either fur colors or it's to match its skin tone, you know, only in a slightly darker shade. I do kind of miss proper black outlines, you know, the old like Dexter's Lab or any cartoons of that era. They had nice, thick, bold outlines, so that really stated where the character ends and the rest of it begins. Because all the modern animation seems to do is have incredibly thin outlines and either in super vivid or just beyond washed out. I haven't seen a I haven't seen a cartoon that's made me go, wow, in a long time. This piece looks like it's coming together a little bit, but I think we'll continue on and make the sun look like it's flowing down this little waterway, kind of add a little more to that. Thank you all for watching. If you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, hitting the bell for me, that'd be fantastic. Anything helps to grow the channel. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.